You are listening to Theoretical Insights of D&D.
Lord, give me a fireball!
Screw how hot your skin is, my bars are hotter. Let me tell you what this is. Let me tell you, you listeners, if you don't know what the zombie has packing in his decaying flesh, you shut up, cancer bones. You gonna be a zombie if that cancer doesn't get cured.
Hey guys, I'm Rob.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to another episode of Theoretical Insights of D&D. And today we are covering our top, I think 10. Yeah, our top 10 monsters for CR 16. And once again coming back is a new and slightly improved celebrity list.
You know, you say that every time, but it's still
I
the
say
same
it-
old,
Yeah.
same old.
Eventually somebody's going to fall for the joke like Casey did in the last episode.
Maybe.
So, at number 1, we have Ellen DeGeneres. Because of things that have come out, or how she treated everybody behind the scenes, and how she made some of her guests extremely uncomfortable. At number 2, we have Jada Pinkett Smith. No, it is not because she's struggling with hair loss. It is because of all the other things. So, there you go.
Yeah.
At number 3, we have Mark Zuckerberg, the lizard man himself. Hold up. Helen. Hey. Yes. Sure. Love you. All right. At number 3, we have the lizard man himself, Mark Zuckerberg. Because
Supposed lizard man.
well, supposed lizard. You go back and watch the videos of him sitting in front of the Senate. He's just like,
Yes, but we have to say supposed or alleged.
oh yeah, because we'll get sued.
Yes.
Supposed lizard man, the Mark Zuckerberg. It's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah.
Number 4, ranking above these other celebrities, something that we all have to deal with, pollen.
Honestly,
Why?
this should have been number 1.
We are, yeah, you got a point, because we are starting our recording. We were recording this at the beginning of April, and oh my dear Lord.
I had to go to town this morning. I walked out. My car was yellow.
Oh yeah.
My silver car was yellow.
Dude, I looked outside and started sneezing. At number 5, we have Peter Green. For those of you that don't know who Peter Green may be, he played Zed in Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
He is the one that was doing some unspeakly things to Ving Rhames' character. And Ving Rhames and Bruce Willis made sure to get a little revenge.
Just a little bit.
At number 6, we have Tim Roth, the man who played Abomination in the Incredible Hulk movie and Abomination in the She-Hulk series, which was canceled. At number 7, we have Vern Troyer. Now, Vern Troyer, being the trooper that he was, unfortunately he passed away in 2018. But he brought to life the character of Mini-Me in Mike Myers' trilogy, Austin Powers, specifically The Spy Who Shagged Me and In Goldmember. So, Mr. Troyer, thank you for the memories that you gave me from childhood. And rest in peace, sir. At number 8, we have Brendan Gleeson. For those that may not recognize that name, because it's not exactly easy to remember who an actor is by their name unless they're extremely well known. This is the man who played Mad Eye Moody in the Harry Potter series, along with the main protagonist of In the Heart of the Sea. He was the older version of Chris Hemsworth. No, I'm sorry. He was not the older version of Chris Hemsworth. He was the older version of Tom Holland's character.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic movie if you haven't seen it. It's a great movie. At number 9, we have Christopher Walken. Why? Because he
it's
brought
Christopher
home.
Walken.
Well, it's Christopher Walken. War with Grandpa. He is absolutely great in. And number 2, he got that boy's father watch out of Vietnam the only way he could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy, talking about a ticking time bomb. And lastly, at number 10 for this week's list, we have Gary Oldman. Now, hopefully, you know who Gary Oldman is because he is one of the greatest actors to ever live. He plays the president in Oppenheimer. He played James Gordon in the Dark Knight series. He was the antagonist in the Book of Eli. He voiced the that dadgum goose in Kung Fu Panda 2,
Yes.
along with his voice acting role in Call of Duty Black Ops, where he played Reznov, along with Call of Duty. What is it? What was the one that came out? Oh, I'm drawing a blank.
Let me.
World at War. Yeah, World at War. Call of Duty World at War. He played the character of Reznov, and he put his heart and soul into that voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Oldman, please live to 100, because we want to keep seeing you in more things. But in the meantime, we have a monster list to cover and more in just two idiots talking about stuff that really don't matter. So, we're starting off this week with the adult silver dragon. It's a huge dragon, armor class of 19 with 243 hit points, or you can take the maximum of 18d12 plus 126 for a max health of. So it'd be 144 plus 96, which will be 240. So it should be a max health of 366.
No.
How far off was I?
342.
Dag! I'm losing my touch.
Starting off with a banger.
I'm losing my touch. Movement speed of 40 and a flying speed of 80. Has a plus 5 to dex saves, 12 to constitution, 6 to wisdom, and 10 to charisma. Plus 8 to arcana, history, 11 to perception, and 5 to stealth. And it is immune to cold damage. Has a blind sight of 60 feet, dark vision of 120, and a passive perception of 21. And it has 3 uses of legendary resistance in one day. Now, with its multi-attack, the dragon uses its frightful presence, and then makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws. The bite is a plus 13 to hit, 10-foot reach, 2d10 plus 8 piercing damage. The claw, on the other hand, is a plus 13 to hit, 5-foot reach, 2d6 plus 8 slashing damage. The tail is a plus 13 to hit, 15-foot reach, 2d8 plus 8 bludgeoning damage. Now, frightful presence is something I figure we all know how it pretty much works. So just to summarize it, each creature of the dragon's choice within 120 feet of it has to make a wisdom save. This one is a DC 18, or they are frightened for 1 minute. They can repeat the save at the end of their turns, ending the effect on a success. And once it's successful, they are immune to it for 24 hours. Now, this is a dragon like we covered with Potato Candy, where it's got 2 options for its breath weapon. Its cold breath is a 60-foot cone, and every creature in the area must make a DC 20 Constitution saving throw, taking 13d8 cold damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. That's not the problem. The problem is its paralyzing breath, because it is a paralyzing gas in a 60-foot cone, and each creature must succeed on a DC 20 Constitution saving throw or be paralyzed for 1 minute. Now, of course, you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns, ending it on yourself, but that is a possibility of 1 minute paralyzation against a dragon.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Well, this The bite being 2d10 plus 8. If you get paralyzed and it comes up and bites you, not only is it advantage, but once it hits, it's an automatic crit. So, however you rule it, it would be 4d10 plus 16 or 2d10 plus 8 doubled.
Yep.
It also has changed shape to where it can go between a humanoid or beast form. It can also take legendary actions. It can detect by making a perception check, make a tail attack, or for 2 actions, make a wing attack. Each creature within 10 feet of the dragon must succeed on a DC 22 dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 plus 8 bludgeoning damage and be knocked prone. The dragon can then fly up to half its flying speed. So after doing that, it can fly 40 feet.
Yep.
That's a good bit. It's also got layer actions as well, which doesn't change the CR, so we can go over that for just a little bit. The dragon creates a fog as if it had cast the fog cloud spell, and the fog lasts until initiative count 20 on the next round. The other option is a blisteringly cold wind blows through the layer near the dragon. Each creature within 120 feet of the dragon must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or take 1d10 cold damage. Protected flames, such as lanterns, have a 50% chance of being extinguished. Overall, it's a silver dragon.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, but I don't think it's a 10. It's one of the few adult dragons that I don't think would be like a 10.
I could give this probably an 8. Give it a Brendan
Yeah.
Gleeson.
Yeah, I can agree with an 8 because it's not a red dragon, you know. And I know the red dragon only has access to its fire breath. It's not going to be doing any kind of paralyzing. The paralyzing breath, I think, is what saved it from being a 7.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, this is pretty much a 7. Next up, we have the Ashen Rider. It's a medium celestial. Celestials are trying to make their way back onto the list this week. It's got an 18 AC, 178 health, or you can take the max of 21d8 plus 84 for a max health of, let's see, it'd be 168 plus 84, which should be 252, something like that.
Hey, you got that one right.
Hey, looky there. My streak begins.
We'll see about that.
Yeah. It's got a plus 10 to strength and wisdom saves and a plus 9 to constitution and charisma saves. Plus 7 to history and 10 to insight and perception with immunity to thunder. It is also immune to charmed, exhaustion, and frightened with true sight out to 120 feet and a passive perception of 20, and it knows all languages. Aura of Silence. When a creature starts its turn within 30 feet of the Ashen Rider, the rider can force that creature to make a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw if the rider can see it. On a successful save, the creature is immune to this aura for the next 24 hours. However, on a failed save, the creature can't speak and is deafened until the start of its next turn. That's every turn at the start, and that can shut down your casters. Because most of the spells that the wizard and the sorcerer are going to know, even the warlock, are going to be a vocation spell.
All you gotta do is carry around a blanket. Because as long as he can see you, he can shut you down. If he can't see you, he can't shut you down.
I mean, there's a problem with that. I know what you're getting at. You could go with like an invisibility cloak.
No, just a
No, I mean, I get that, but
sleeping bag.
you still have to hold it up so he'd still be able to see your hands.
Sleeping bag, just slide it over you. Cut the
that
eye
won't-
holes and start
that
casting.
That wouldn't work. And the problem is he's got true sight, so he's going to see you
Yeah.
unless you're behind the wall.
Well, carry around a wall. You
Just
got a
carry a
Goliath
wall
in
with
your
you.
party. Have a wall on his back. Start a fight. He just sits down.
The Goliath Carpenter. He's also got innate spell casting with a spell save DC of 18. At will, he can cast Command and Compel Duel, which could be a problem.
Yes.
And 1 time each per day, Banishment and Blade Barrier. He also has a mount. If the Ashen Rider isn't mounted, it can use a bonus action to magically teleport onto the creature serving as its mount, provided the Ashen Rider and its mount are on the same plane of existence. We've covered something like this before. We kind of pretty much know how it works. With its multi-attack, however, the Ashen Rider makes 3 attacks with its Ashen Blade or 2 attacks with its Bolt of Ash. It's a plus 10 to hit on the blade with a 10-foot reach, 2d8 plus 5 slashing damage, plus 2d12 radiant damage. And the Bolt of Ash is a plus 10 to hit, range of up to 120 feet, 4d10 necrotic damage, and the target can't regain hit points until the start of the Ashen Rider's next turn. That's a bit insane.
That is pretty good. I will have to say.
It's Guiding Bolt, but without the advantage.
Yeah.
And instead takes away your healing.
Yeah.
Like, that's stupid.
Necrotic damage. Yes.
Oh, good news. It's got legendary actions.
I mean, realistically, what doesn't at this level?
I mean, you got to... Well, actually, no. There was a creature on here that I looked at. Yeah, the boar worm does not. Which is why it's such a bore.
Potato, whatever. Yeah.
Get it?
Trying to be
so with its legendary actions, it can make an attack with its Ashen Blade or Bolt of Ash. For 2 actions, it can use Coordinated Assault. The Ashen Rider makes an attack using its Ashen Blade or Bolt of Ash, and then its mount can use its reaction to make a melee attack as well. So it really depends on what you have it mounted with as to what it's going to be. If it's something ridiculous, that'd be kind of crazy.
I could see it having the same amount as what we covered the other week with the other celestial, the bull with wings or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I think in the picture provided here, it's riding a winged saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. And reduced to ash costs 3 actions. The Ashen Rider targets a creature it can see within 60 feet of it. The target must succeed on a DC 18 Constitution saving throw or take 5d10 necrotic damage, and its hit point maximum is reduced by an amount equal to the damage taken. This reduction lasts until the target finishes a long rest. If the target's hit point maximum is reduced to 0, its body and everything it's wearing and carrying, except for magic items, are reduced to ash. And you can only be revived by a wish spell if that happens.
Yep.
For the fact that there are so many different ways to use this guy, along with he's coming with a winged saber-toothed tiger mount, he's a 10.
Yeah, I like the fact that he's using radiant and necrotic damage.
Yeah, because you really only see that on like a cleric type build.
Yeah.
They're really the only ones that really have access to that. And, it makes sense because of being a celestial. So, the Ashen Rider is a 10 in our books. Next up, we have the Daemogoth Titan. The Daemogoth Titan is a gargantuan fiend with an armor class of 17, hit points of 203, or you can take the max of 11d20 plus 88 for a max health of 308, with a movement speed of 40 feet. It's got a plus 12 to intelligence saving throws, plus 9 to wisdom, and plus 10 to charisma, plus 17 to arcana, 15 to deception, 12 to history, and 9 to perception. It is immune to psychic damage, and it is immune to the charmed and frightened conditions. Has 120 feet of true sight and a passive perception of 19, speaking abyssal infernal with a telepathy of 120 feet, and it is a creepy looking thing. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into this on a dark alley.
I wouldn't want to run into it in a well-lit alley.
In a valley bathed in sunshine, not a tree around. Yeah, still no.
No. It's got 3 uses of legendary resistance and Pact of Suffering. Using a 10-minute long ritual, the Titan can forge a magical bond with a willing creature it touches throughout the ritual. The creature becomes bound by the pact until it dies, the Titan dies, or the pact is broken by a witch spell. The Titan chooses one spell from the necromancy or enchantment school that is 8th level or lower. The bound creature can cast that spell using this pact, requiring no material components and using intelligence as the spellcasting ability. When it casts the spell, the creature takes 6d6 psychic damage, which can't break the creature's concentration on a spell. Once the bound creature casts the spell in this way, it can't do so again until it finishes the long rest. This is the perfect creature to be the patron for a warlock.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Or like a darker wizard.
Yeah, yeah. A bloodline passed down for a sorcerer, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, like a
This-
shadow sorcerer.
Yeah, this could be like part of somebody's backstory. Their bloodline takes you to like this old castle that's been passed down for generations, and you find this guy, which was your like great whatever uncle.
Yeah. I would probably go like a warlock wizard multiclass just to
Yeah.
have it make a little bit more sense because the wizard's going to be using intelligence for its spells to begin with.
True.
So that and you get access to a lot more spells doing that instead of just like 2 or 3 spell slots at a time. With its multi-attack, the Titan makes 2 agonizing burst attacks. Agonizing burst is a plus 12 to hit, a 15-foot reach, or a range of 120 feet. 3d6 plus 7 force damage, and if the target is a creature, the Titan regains 5 hit points. Oh, and it also has teleport, where it can teleport 120 feet.
Nice.
No, thank you. Oh, it gets worse.
Please do tell.
It has legendary actions. Okay, so it can make 1 agonizing burst attack. We already know what that does. It's stupid. Stalking Nightmare costs 2 actions. The Titan uses teleport, after which it can target 1 creature within 20 feet of itself that it can see. The target must make a DC 20 Constitution saving throw, and on a failed save, the target takes 4d10 necrotic damage, and the Titan regains 10 hit points. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage, and the Titan doesn't heal. Or Terrorize. For 3 actions, the Titan targets 1 creature it can see within 120 feet of itself. The target must make a DC 20 Wisdom saving throw, and on a failed save, the target takes 7d10 psychic damage and is frightened of the Titan until the end of the target's next turn, and the Titan regains 15 hit points. On a successful save, half damage, not frightened, and the Titan doesn't heal. Those are some seriously high saving throws, though.
Yeah, a 20 con. That's what your barbarian fighter and artificer paladin.
Yeah. Con, that's going to be fighter, barbarian, probably a paladin, sorcerer.
Yeah.
And then wisdom, obviously, is going to be the ranger, the monk, and the cleric.
Yeah.
This dude's rough.
Yes.
There's a ton of mobility. And the fact that it can either be a melee or a ranged spell attack, that's just stupid. It's a 10. There's no way around it. We're gonna wind up having to change the list up some because we can't keep having everything be a 10. We're gonna have to base it off of 1 through 5 eventually.
You know, we've said that for like 4 episodes now, yet we still go through 1 through 10.
Well, take me at my word. CR17 will be a 1 through 5 list, and they'll all just be like great actors or great celebrities.
I like that, but I also like dissing on people that deserve it.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can still do that though.
Okay. As long as we still do that, I'm good.
Oh yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, I could give this a 10.
Yeah, I don't think it's a 9 because it's got too much. It's got way too much mobility to just be a 9. Now, I know that it takes an action, but if you save it for the legendary action, because of the fact that you will still be able to get an attack off as another legendary action, the Stalking Nightmare is kind of crazy.
Yep.
Next, we have, I'm not even 100% sure how to say this, but it is spelled F-Z-E-G, so I'm going to guess that it's pronounced Zeg. Eric,
I would assume
would you like to describe what you see?
so. Well,
And I have a question.
yes.
Is this going to be another 10?
Off looks, yes.
Let me read you some info. We've been led to believe that vampires and werewolves are natural enemies. Convenient that two fearsome creatures would be so opposed to the other. Never did we imagine nor prepare for a time when they might unite. This is a vampiric werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
This is stupid.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a regular werewolf until you look at the teeth.
Yeah.
You could tell that's some vampire teeth.
Oh, it's insane because I mean it's not anything like what we just read. It doesn't have 200 health. It doesn't have a 18 or 20 AC, but it's got some other stuff going on for it.
Yeah.
It's a medium monstrosity. Number one, my favorite creature type. 153 hit points, or you can take the maximum of 18d8 plus 72 for a max health of be 144 plus 72 should be 216.
You are correct, sir.
Hey, looky there. That's 3 in a row. And a movement speed of 40 feet. Plus 9 to dex saves and 7 to wisdom saves. Plus 7 to perception and 9 to stealth. That's what makes it dangerous. Resistant to necrotic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks. Dark vision of 120 feet and the passive perception of 17. And languages of any 4. Shape changer. It can use an action to polymorph into a small or medium humanoid or back to its true form, that of a wolf humanoid hybrid. It can transform its body parts as part of attacking with them and can choose whether the change remains after making the attack. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Other than its size, its statistics are the same in each form. And any equipment it's wearing or carrying isn't transformed, and it reverts to its true form if it dies. Because it's a werewolf, it's got keen hearing and smell, with 3 uses of legendary resistance, and rampage. When the Zeg reduces the creature to 0 hit points with a melee attack on its turn, the Zeg can take a bonus action to move up to half its speed and make a bite attack. Interesting.
Yes.
Regeneration. The Zeg regains 20 hit points at the start of its turn, if it has at least 1 remaining. If it takes radiant damage, it doesn't function. But that is a regeneration of 20.
Yeah, that's an automatic 20, not a dice roll or a percentage of damage done. That's just a 20.
And realistically, if you think about it, it's got a plus 9 to its dex saves. It could completely heal the damage it just took from like a 5th level fireball.
Mm-hmm.
Because it made the save on the spell save DC. Oh, it's got spider climb.
Why not?
Oh, dude, if I saw this thing hanging upside down from the ceiling, I think I'd just off myself.
Why not just let it fly? It's part vampire.
It may as well. The Zeg uses its howl and then attacks once with its bite and twice with its claws. The bite is a plus 9 to hit, 5-foot reach, 2d6 plus 4 piercing damage, plus 5d6 necrotic damage, and is stunned until the end of its next turn. A humanoid slain after being bitten rises the following night as a Zeglach under the Zeg's control.
Nice.
The claws are a plus 9 to hit, 5-foot reach, 2d8 plus 4 slashing damage. So nothing special about the claws, but that bite's serious.
Yeah.
And howl. Each creature of the Zeg's choice that is within 300 feet of the Zeg and able to hear it must succeed on a DC 17 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. You can repeat the save at the end of your turns, and if you do so, you're immune to 24 hours, or until it's stunned by the Zeg. Night Children recharges after a short or long rest. The Zeg magically calls 8 wolves. The wolves arrive in 10 rounds, acting as allies to the Zeg and obeying its spoken commands. The beasts remain for an hour until the Zeg dies or until the Zeg dismisses them as a bonus action. That's pretty cool. Now, it does suck. The wolves are like a quarter. If it was like a dire wolf of a CR, what is the dire wolf? CR2? I'm thinking for like high level. If you're 6, say 9th level characters, then yeah.
Let's see. Direwolf is a CR1.
Yeah. If you replace that with a dire wolf, because the dire wolf's got what, 60 health?
Up to 60 health, yeah.
Then this thing could really be like a BBEG for a low level campaign. If you swap out the regular wolves with the dire wolves.
Yeah.
It could turn into the BBEG and then just give it its max health of what was it, 214, 216?
216, yeah. I was thinking a mini boss for Curse of Strahd.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, that might be where this guy's from. Oh no, this is from Grim Hollow.
Yeah.
Layers of Atharis. See, this is why we need to start doing some stuff on Grim Hollow too, my dude.
Well, we gotta work our way through all this.
Yeah, I know. We got a lot to cover first. But let's not forget this thing has it has legendary actions as well.
Yeah.
So it can move up to its speed without provoking opportunity. Okay.
Of course, why not?
That's dumb. It can make a attack with its claws, or it can use Insight. The Zeg chooses one creature that is of a lower challenge rating, has a bite attack, and is within 60 feet of the Zeg. Provided the target can hear or see the Zeg, that creature can use its reaction to move up to half its speed and make a bite attack. That's ridiculous. Or it can use 2 actions to bite. Wait a minute. Could you imagine getting hit by 2 bites? In a row?
Ouch.
That's...
Yeah, you didn't get stunned the first time, so let's try again.
Well, it's not even about the stun. It's not you didn't get stunned. You are stunned until the end of the Zeg's next turn. If it hits, there is no save.
Yeah.
There is no... Eric! There is no save! They've done it again! There's no save to keep from being stunned because this vampiric werewolf decided that it needed to have the munchies. It's a 10.
I mean, yeah, definitely a 10.
I would definitely put this in my game. And don't be surprised if I do. Like, I'm being honest. Don't be surprised if the Zeg makes its way into my game.
So all we're doing making these CR lists is just looking for creatures to put in your game.
No. Maybe. I don't know. It's possible.
I think it's very possible.
Yeah, this dude is sick. And so, honestly, he's my favorite one that we've covered.
I'd have to say so, yes.
Well, I've got one that's probably going to be your favorite. And I'll even let you take the lead on this one. The Hellfire Engine.
Why would you let me take the lead?
Because I know you like artificers and constructs. And now we might have to have a little bit of a debate here.
Okay.
I chose the Hellfire Engine over the Iron Golem.
Well, to be fair, the Iron Golem was only really good after I fiddled with it.
Yeah, you kind of got a
campaign. Because it had the timer on it. course, does this one have the timer on it? No, this one doesn't have a timer on it.
Well, here's the thing. Unless it's in do. Yeah, well, let me go ahead and tell you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
The Iron Golem, there's no timer in the stat block
So that was just something you put in.
anywhere. Yes, that is just something that was put in.
Okay. Still, I'd rather have the Hellfire engine.
Yeah, and let's find out why.
Okay, this vehicle, because that's what it is. Looks like a giant siege engine. It's a huge construct. Armor class of 18, hit points of 216. That's 16d12 plus 112. What do you think it is?
$16d12. Well, it'd be 144 plus 24. So that'd be 168 plus 112 should be, oh boy, 370, 380?
No. You're not even
280.
close.
280. I got my Mac. I got my math.
304, my guy.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I messed up.
Jeez.
Because it'd be 144 plus
Yes.
36.
God. Look at you.
Look,
And you was
I'm
on
having-
a roll.
look, I'm working overtime this week. Leave me alone.
It's got a saving throw on Dex plus 8. How does that happen? How does a car, a siege engine, have Dex plus 8?
Well, it's not even, if you think about it, I'm just going to read ahead real quick. Buddy, I hate to tell you, but it's not something that has to be driven.
I know it's not driven, but still.
It's an honest to God construct.
But still, a Dex plus 8. Anyways, Wisdom plus 5, Charisma plus 0. I don't even know why they put that in there. Oh, because it's got a -5 to the Charisma. It's got a 1. That would be why they put it in there.
If they were like, let's just make it proficient in charisma to where maybe it can make a save.
It has resistant to cold, psychic, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical items. Attacks that are not silvered. Immune to fire and poison. Immune to charm, deafen, exhausted, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, and unconscious. Dark vision of 120 feet. Passive perception of 10. Understands infernal but cannot speak. I wouldn't want that thing to speak at me anyways.
It's got a little going on for it. It'd sound like the furnace out of Home Alone.
I was thinking like Christine, the car, the alive, that came alive.
You shouldn't have even brought that up. I don't want to be anywhere near this thing.
Immutable form. The Hellfire engine is immune to any spells or effects that would alter its form. It has magic resistance, of course.
Why not?
Guess what? It's got
What?
unusual nature. It doesn't need air, food, drink, or sleep.
See, I call bullcrap. It needs at least one oil change.
That is not air, food, drink, or sleep.
It's drink.
Just because it's a liquid does not mean it's drinkable.
Tell that to the movie Cars.
They're cars.
I mean,
they're not people.
they have engines, don't they?
Yes. That's a movie. That's a movie. This is D&D. Get it right.
Stop ruining my childhood, Eric. Life is a highway.
This is the bull tractor from Cars.
This is the combine from Cars.
If he
What
was on
that?
fire and had claws.
What is his name?
Oh, God. I don't even know.
His name would be Frank. This is Frank the Combine. Frank the Hellfire engine. This is now Frank.
You putting this in your game, too?
No, but this is now Frank.
I'm sure Marcel could build it.
I doubt it.
Anyways,
You ain't getting one of these. I can tell you that much right now, buddy. It ain't gonna happen.
Oh,
No.
why you wouldn't want me to use the flesh-crushing stride?
No.
The engine moves up to its speed in a straight line. During this move, it can enter large or smaller creature spaces. A creature whose space the Hellfire engine enters must make a DC 18 saving throw on Dex. On a successful save, the creature is pushed to the nearest space out of the Hellfire engine's path. On a failed save, the creature falls prone and takes 8d6 bludgeoning damage.
He literally runs you over.
Yes, like I said, Christine.
Like I said, Frank. You just hear him coming from behind you.
So good. Now I can't get this out of my head. Oh, Lord. If the Hellfire engine remains in the prone creature's space, the creature is also restrained until it's no longer in the same space as the Hellfire engine. While restrained in this way, the creature or another creature within 5 feet can make a DC 18 strength check. On a success, the creature is shunted to an unoccupied space of its choice within 5 feet and is no longer restrained.
Oh, well, that's nice.
It also has weapons.
Yeah, this
Frank-
is the problem.
Frank with an RPG, basically.
Heck, you're not wrong.
It has Hellfire weapons. The Hellfire engine uses one of the following weapons on a D6 roll.
Or you can choose.
Yeah, but we're gonna roll the D6.
Well, you would. I am a very, very evil DM. I would just choose.
Well, listen, either of these would make a bad attack to be hit with. First, we have the Bone Melt Sprayer. Sounds very Warhammer 40k. The Hellfire engine spews acidic flame in a 60-foot cone. Each creature in that cone must make a DC 20 Dex save, taking 2d10 fire plus 48 acid. On a failed save or half as much on a success. The creature that failed the saving throw or drenched in burning acid, taking another d10 plus 2d8 damage at the end of their turn. An affected creature or another creature within 5 feet can take an action to scrape off the burning fuel.
That's ridiculous.
That would be the one you would choose, wouldn't it?
No, I mean, yeah, but
And then we have the Lightning Flail. It's a melee attack. Plus 10 to hit, 15-foot reach. 3d8 plus 5 bludgeoning, plus 5d8 lightning damage.
that's stupid.
It is stupid. Up to three other creatures of the Hellfire's engine choice that it can see within 30 feet of the target must make a DC 20 Dex save or take 5d8 lightning damage on a failed save or half as much on a success.
This thing has chain lightning tied to its melee attack. It's chain lightning. Just a little less damage, because I think chain lightning is like 68.
There's
That's
one
so
more.
stupid.
There's another.
Why?
It's called the Thunder Cannon. The Hellfire engine targets a point, not a creature, a point within 120 feet that it can see. Each creature within 30 feet of that point must make a DC 20 Dex save or take 5d10 bludgeoning and 3d12 thunder on a failed save, or half as much on a success. It's got a ranged thunder wave.
This thing is a M1 Abrams.
Pretty much. Oh, there's more to the Thunder Cannon.
Oh no, it's not just the Thunder Cannon.
Oh, yeah.
It's any of them.
If the chosen option kills a creature, The creature's soul rises from the river Styx as a what is that? What was that? A
Lemur.
lemur in 1d4 hours. If the creature isn't revived before then, only a wish spell or killing the lemur and casting true resurrection on the creature's original body can restore it to life. And constructs and devils are immune to this effect. I
Just
love it.
take a moment of silence because this has given me an aneurysm.
And you know you want to let Marcel build this. And have
Absolutely
the
not.
entire party ride it into battle,
Absolutely not.
throwing out thunder waves and AoE chain lightnings.
That is possibly the dumbest thing. Chained lightning on its 3d8 plus 5 bludgeoning damage lightning flail.
Yes.
So the guy that he attacks is taking 8d8 plus 5.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no save for the lightning damage if he hits you.
Yeah,
He's got a DOT for his 1 and 2 and a freaking mortar shell for his 5 to 6.
Yeah.
You think you get away, you're like, oh, I'm 120 feet away and I've gotten behind this wall. Next thing you hear is a thump.
What's that whistle? And then you're dead.
I think the tea's ready. Dude. This might be the coolest construct I've ever read.
See, constructs aren't that bad.
No, constructs are cool. But the Hellfire engine deserves the coolest. There's no way around that.
Yes, it's a 10.
Next, we have the Nightmare Beast. It's another gargantuan creature, this time a monstrosity. 17 AC, 232 health, or you can take the maximum of 15d12 plus 75 for a max health of 375.
Have you seen the picture of this thing?
Yes, I have seen the picture of it.
It looks like something that would be in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing, but it's just I don't know. It's really cool just off the picture.
It's got a movement speed of 30 with a climb speed of 30, dark vision of 120 feet, and a passive perception of 11. It has no proficiencies in any of its saving throws. But I don't think it needs them. It's got 2 uses of legendary resistance, and it is a siege monster.
It's a gargantuan monstrosity. Of course, it's a siege monster.
In the multi-attack, it doesn't say the Nightmare Beast. It just says the Beast. Because that's what this thing is. It is a beast.
It is a beast.
Makes 2 claw attacks and 1 tusk attack. The claw is a plus 13 to hit, 15-foot reach, 1d12 plus 8 slashing damage, and if the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 21 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. The tusk is a plus 13 to hit, 15-foot reach, 2d8 plus 8 slashing damage. Disintegration Gaze. You wonder why the attacks don't really do that much damage. This is why. The beast, on a recharge of 5 to 6 once it's used, targets one creature it can see within 60 feet of itself. The target must make a DC 18 Constitution saving throw, taking 10d6 plus 40 force damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. If this magical effect reduces the target to 0 hit points, the target disintegrates and leaves nothing behind except for a pile of ash plus whatever equipment it was wearing or carrying.
That's an automatic 46 damage if it hits. That's just the low end.
Yeah, because it's the damage it suggests that if you don't want to roll is 70.
High end of 100.
That's half the health of a 15th level fighter.
Yeah.
if they don't have the tough feet. And guess what? It can teleport twice per day as a bonus action up to 120 feet.
Why not? Why not?
Legendary actions as well, good sir. It makes
mean-
a tusk attacks.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 actions, it can use its charge where it moves up to its speed without provoking opportunity and then
course.
makes 2 tusk attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And Frightful Howl, 2 actions. The beast howls as it exhales a cloud of magical fear gas in a 120-foot cone. Any creature in that area must succeed on a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw or be frightened of the beast for 1 minute. And you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
So it's got a breath weapon.
It's got a breath weapon. And 2 uses of teleportation. And disintegrate.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't get is why it's gargantuan. I'll be honest.
That's where the siege creature comes in.
Well, yeah, but I just don't get why they made it gargantuan. It could have been just as frightening in a large or huge form.
Well, I mean, not if
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but if it's attacking like a fortified city, it's going to need to be gargantuan.
Well, see, the thing is, this is out of Spelljammer,
Mm-hmm.
specifically the Monstrous Compendium Volume 1. So I have a feeling that's probably why it's gargantuan, because it's a space monstrosity, and they can get huge out there with no issue.
I want to give this a Christopher Walken.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give it a 9 too, because it's not quite to the level of 10 that we strive for. But it's not bad.
No.
But I have another 10. The Phoenix.
I mean, yeah.
It's kind of hard to argue that. Just the name Phoenix is a 10. Without even looking at the stat block.
It's
a cool name.
It's another
cooler than any of the other names we've talked about.
It's another one of those creatures that everybody, no matter if they've ever played D&D or not, they know what a phoenix is.
Yep.
They know how cool it is.
There is a lot of weight behind the name of Phoenix. It's a gargantuan elemental, 18 AC, 175 hit points, or you can take the maximum of 10 D20 plus 70 for a max health of 270. It's only got a movement speed of 20, but it's got a flying speed of 120. Plus 10 to wisdom saves and plus 9 to charisma. Resistant to bludgeoning and piercing and slashing from non-magical attacks, immune to fire and poison, immune to exhaustion, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, and stunned. Dark vision of 60 feet, and a passive perception of 15, and it doesn't speak. Fiery death and rebirth. If the phoenix dies, it explodes. Each creature in a 60-foot radius sphere centered on the phoenix must make a DC 20 dexterity saving throw, taking 4d10 fire damage on a failed save or half as much damage on a successful one. The fire ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. The explosion destroys the phoenix's body and leaves behind an egg-shaped cinder which weighs 5 pounds. The cinder deals 6d6 fire damage to any creature that touches it, though no more than once per round. The cinder is immune to all damage. It is immune to all damage. And after 1d6 days, it hatches a new phoenix.
Nice.
With fire form, the phoenix can move through a space as narrow as 1 inch wide without squeezing. Any creature that touches the phoenix or hits it with a melee attack while within 5 feet takes 1d10 fire damage. In addition, the phoenix can enter a hostile creature space and stop there. The first time it enters a creature space on a turn, that creature takes 1d10 fire damage. With the touch, the phoenix can also ignite flammable objects that aren't being worn or carried. And it has flyby and illumination and 3 legendary resistances. And guess what? It's a siege monster.
Of course it is.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
With multi-attack, it makes one beak and one fiery talon attack. The beak is a plus 13 to hit, 15-foot reach, 2d6 plus 8 fire damage. The fiery talons are a plus 13 to hit, 15-foot reach, 2d8 plus 8 fire damage. And here's the legendary actions. It can move up to its speed. The Phoenix makes one beak attack, or for 2 actions, it can swoop. The Phoenix moves up to its speed and makes one fiery talon attack. For the fact that you can never kill it. It's not like the what was it, the Eldritch Lich that we talked about with Potato Candy, where there's a chance of killing it. You cannot kill a Phoenix. It is impossible.
Yeah, it'll always come back no matter what.
Yeah. I know it's technically a new Phoenix, but in a way, it's the same Phoenix being reborn.
Mm-hmm.
It never actually dies. It just takes a nap.
Pretty much. Oh, you've beat me in battle. Hold on.
I'll see you in a couple of days. It's a 10. There's no way around it.
Of course. Of course.
Next up, we have the Planetar. Another Celestial making its way onto the list. AC of 19, 200 health, or you can take the max of 16 D10 plus 112 for a max health of 272.
Nice.
40-foot movement speed with a flying speed of 120. Give me just a second. Plus 12 to Constitution and Charisma saving throws, and plus 11 to Wisdom, with a plus 11 to Perception. Resistant to Radiant, Bludgeoning, Piercing, and Slashing from non-magical attacks. Immune to Charmed, Exhaustion, Frightened. True sight of 120 feet and a passive perception of 21. Knows all languages with a telepathy of 120 feet.
Eric!
Yes.
This next one scares me. Angelic weapons.
Oh, yeah.
The Planetar's weapon attacks are magical, and when it hits with any weapon, the weapon deals an extra 5d8 radiant damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. And you don't want the bard to talk to the Planetar because with divine awareness, it knows if it hears a lie.
Yep.
It also has innate spellcasting with a save DC of 20.
Of course.
At will, it can cast Detect Evil and Good and Invisibility on itself 3 times a day for each. Blade Barrier, Dispel Evil and Good, Flame Strike, and Raise Dead, one of my favorite spells in Flame Strike.
Mm-hmm.
And 1 time a day, Commune, Control Weather, and Insect Plague. Oh, and guess what? It's got magic resistance. Like it freaking needs it.
I mean, of course it needs it. Why wouldn't it need it?
Dude. It makes 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
The Great Sword is plus 12 to hit, 5-foot reach, 4d6 plus 7 plus 5d8 radiant damage.
Yep.
Or Healing Touch 4 times a day. The Planetar touches another creature. The target magically regains 6d8 plus 3 hit points and is freed from any curse, disease, poison, blindness, or deafness.
I want that on my cleric.
Well, I mean, technically, you wouldn't have the curse, disease, poison, blindness, or deafness, but you could do that with a 6th level healing or cure wounds.
I want the whole thing.
Nah. But I will say, I don't know why they didn't add that into us, like the life domain.
Yeah, that
Where
would.
when you hit, say, like 18th level, you can do that with a 6th level or higher cure wounds.
Yeah.
And that's all there is to it. But it is a terrifying foe, and because of Healing Touch, an absolutely useful ally. because I'm sorry, that's 8d6 plus 14 and 10d8 radiant damage. It's doing damage, and it's got plenty of mobility with that 120-foot flying speed.
Yeah.
And with Blade Barrier, it can lock down an area. Flame Strike, it completely destroys something with 8d6, half being fire and half being radiant.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I mean, it's a 10. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're going to have to do something about our rating system. Next, we have the Shator Dimodand. You remember we covered a Dimodand, what was it, 2 or 3 CR lists ago?
Yeah, I remember him.
This one is a large fiend, 19 AC, 195 health, or you can take the max of 23 D10 plus 69 for a max health of 299. Movement speed of 30 with a flying speed of 60, plus 7 to dex saves and plus 8 to wisdom, 13 to perception, and 7 to stealth, because why not? Resistant, go ahead.
I mean, if I saw this thing, I would avert my eyes, giving him the plus 7 to stealth.
I mean, fair. That's fair. It has resistant to cold and fire damage, immunity to acid and poison, immune to charmed, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, and restrained, true sight of 120 feet, and the highest passive perception I think we've seen so far.
So far, yes.
A 23.
Mm-hmm.
It knows Abyssal, Common, Dimodand, Infernal, and it has a telepathy of 120 feet. Here's where it gets stupid. Boundless movement. The Shator ignores difficult terrain and magical effects can't reduce its speed. It can spend 5 feet of its movement to automatically remove the grappled condition from itself. Jailer, 1 time per day. The Shator can cast the imprisonment spell, requiring no components and using intelligence as a spellcasting ability. It's a spell save DC of 20. Liquefaction ritual, or liquefaction ritual.
That just sounds terrifying.
The Shader can perform a 1-minute ritual that turns all willing Forestus and Kelubars of its choice within 60 feet of itself into a living liquid form. Each liquefied Dimodand becomes enough liquid to fill a flask. A Dimodand's liquefaction lasts until a Shader calls and uses an action to end it, or a creature opens a container holding the liquid. While liquefied this way, the Dimodand has the paralyzed condition, despite any immunity to that condition, and has immunity to all damage, and any curse affecting it is suspended.
So basically, he gets to carry around minions in bottles.
Yes. And he can throw said bottle like the Iron Flask in Baldur's Gate 3.
I just see this guy standing in his pile of ooze and whatever rot, just throwing these glass vials at enemies. You get a vial, you get a vial.
No, it's better. He's the new Pokemon trainer.
I choose you, Uncle Larry.
Another Dimodand pops out.
Oh, where's my mashed taters?
It has magic resistance and numbing secretions. A creature that touches the Shader or hits it with a melee attack while within 5 feet must succeed on a DC 17 dexterity saving throw or have disadvantage on all attack rolls, and its speeds halved until the end of its next turn. That's crazy.
So you touch it and your hand goes numb.
It gets worse.
Yeah, because we haven't even got to its attacks yet.
No, we haven't even covered the attacks. It makes 1 bite and 2 innervating trident attacks. The bite is a plus 12 to hit, 5-foot reach, 3d6 plus 7 piercing damage, plus 4d12 acid damage. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 16 Constitution saving throw or have the paralyzed condition for an. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, the save is low, but it's not low for the wizard.
Yep.
Innervating Trident. Plus 12 to hit, 10-foot reach, 2d10 plus 7 necrotic. Not piercing, straight necrotic.
Mm-hmm.
Inhibitory Spray. Recharge of 5 to 6. The Shater exhales a spray of slime in a line 100 foot long and 5 feet wide. Each creature in that area must make a DC 16 saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 9d8 acid damage and has the paralyzed condition for 1 minute, and you can repeat the save at the end of your turn. And if you succeed, you take half damage. Spellcast. When's it gonna stop? Spellcasting. Spell save DC of 18 and a plus 10 to hit. At will, invisibility, and suggestion. And 1 time a day per each. Dispel magic, plane shift, and scrying.
Keep going.
Summon Dimidan 1 time per day. The Shader has a 50% chance of summoning its choice of 1d4 Farastu Dimidans and 1d2 Kelubar Dimidans or another Shader Dimidand. A summoned Dimidand appears in an unoccupied space within 60 feet of it, acts as an ally, and can't summon other Dimidans. It remains for 1 minute or until one or the other dies, or if it's dismissed. I don't like this thing.
You picked it.
But I don't. No, that's the problem. I don't like it. It's ridiculously good.
Oh, it's gonna hurt.
It's ridiculously good. Have this be the BBEG and it just throws its entire family tree at you in the middle of the fight.
Yeah, you walk up and it's just him. Your party of 6 is like, oh, this might not be too bad. And he just starts chunking vials at you.
Yeah, that could be homebrewed to where it could be a very, very hard fight for 6 20th level characters.
Yeah.
Because all you got to do is say, oh, yeah, he's got 12 vials on him. 4 of them are other shaders, and the rest are a combination of Farastu and Kelubar, and then he can summon more.
Yeah.
And each of the others can summon more.
And all the while doing his laser beam of acid damage.
And then name him Greg. Greg the Dimidand. And then pump another 100 health into him. And he's the BBEG.
Greg the Dimidand. All he wanted to do was collect them all.
No, he's Del Dimidand. Honor the Del Dimidand. Owner of the Dimidand Dimidome. Sorry, Doug Dimidand. Yeah, I'm Doug Dimidand, owner of the Dimidand Dimidome. It's a 10. It's stupid. It's a 10.
As much as I don't like it, yeah, it's a 10.
Lastly, we have Zodar, a medium aberration, 20 AC, 200 health, or you can take the max of 16d8 plus 128. I'm not even going to try that math, but it's going to be over 300.
Let's do some quick calculatory math over here.
No, it's not going to be over 300.
No, it's not.
What is it? 250 right out.
256.
I was close. Plus 13 to Constitution, plus 6 to Intelligence, 7 to Wisdom, and 9 to Charisma saving throws. Immune to acid, fire, and poison. Immune to blinded, charmed, deafened, exhaustion, frightened, petrified, and poisoned. Blind side of 120 feet and blind beyond that radius with a passive perception of 12. Disembodied voice. Up to 3 times in its life, the Zodar can cause a message of up to 25 words to issue from the air around it. It speaks only when it has something profoundly important to say, and the message can be understood by any creature that has an intelligence score of 2 or higher.
Well, it better be profound. It can only do it 3 times in its life.
Yeah. It's got 3 uses of legendary resistance. Transport inhibitor. The Zodar can't be teleported or sent to any plane of existence against its will.
Hmm.
There goes banishment.
Yep.
And it's got unusual nature. Well, it's a pretty unusual looking guy. The Zodar makes 2 crushing fist attacks. Before or after the attacks, the Zodar uses forced teleport. The crushing fist is a plus 15 to hit, 5-foot reach, 2d10 plus 10 force damage. Forced teleport, however, he magically warps space around one creature that he can see within 60 feet of itself. The target must make a DC 21 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the target takes 4d10 force damage, and the Zodar teleports it, along with any equipment it's wearing or carrying, up to 60 feet to an unoccupied space that the Zodar can see and that can support the target. On a successful save, the target takes half as much damage and isn't teleported, but nowhere does it say that he can't teleport you into a dangerous area.
Mm-hmm.
Plant you straight into a spike growth, straight into lava, straight into the center of a layer action that's about to explode. Oh, and wish. The Zodar casts the wish spell, requiring no spell components and using charisma as the spell casting with a spell save DC of 17. After casting the spell, Zodar turns to dust and is destroyed.
So it can't talk but 3 times in its life, and if it uses wish, it does.
Yeah. But if you think about it, this is the kamikaze creature.
And I'm sitting here reading the info on it, and it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. It's a really interesting creature. But think, it's up to the DM, but if you are the DM and it's a 20th level game and this thing's about to go down and it comes to its turn, you can wish, and this thing turns to dust and is destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But Meteor Swarm is cast to where now they have to make that dexterity saving throw of 17 or take all that damage from Meteor Swarm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a 10, but it's definitely not lower than a 7. And a reason I say it's a 7 at least is because of the interestingness of the creature itself.
Yeah, reading the lore on it, it's very interesting. It makes me think it almost Silver Surfer.
Well, when I looked at the picture, it made me think of Deoxys,
Yeah,
but like the Mega Evolution.
yeah. But like nobody knows how many there are, where they came from,
Or what they're doing.
Yeah, they just float around. They don't really mess with anybody.
Yeah. And if you piss one off enough to where they attack you, you've done something very wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
These guys could be the keeper of the BBEG's thing.
Yeah, this is definitely a key to the end game.
Yeah. That's our list. That's our list for the week. We hope you enjoyed. And if you disagree with us, well, let us know. Please, somebody talk to us.
Whether you want to cuss us out or tell us thanks, let us know.
Oh, yeah. Now, thank you for listening, and we hope you enjoyed. Next week, we'll be going over the second part of the Barbarian from Cobalt Press, and Ducky is coming back for that.
And I will attempt to make more theory crafted races for the subclasses.
Yes. But that is then, and for right now, keep rolling high. And we'll see you in the next one.